Texas Real Estate Mastermind, Robert Ruffino, Jason Bible. It is the 2024 preview
of the preview show.
Preview of the preview show.
Yes.
But I think you're going to like what we have to say. I think the biggest thing right now that is going to be really hard to predict, because I watched some stuff the other day, and boy, I've been watching our president, and I may not like the guy, but I am human. The dude does not need to be working. Like, he needs to be at home doing retirement stuff. And I'm like, they can't seriously run this guy for 4 more years, can they?
Of course they are.
I heard Michelle Obama talking about, like, she's freaked out. I'm like, can we just put her in? Because this guy can't do 4 more years. Like, I'll take Michelle over this dude who is, my God, he's got that Alzheimer's shuffle. Like, it's just bad. It's bad. It's making a lot of people nervous. I made a lot of money under Obama, so I'm fine with give me Obama number 2 in.
Yes. Yeah, it is once again, it's a what was South Park? Giant douche and a turd sandwich.
Yeah.
Pick one, right? Which one do you want,
ridiculous.
Right? And it's but here's the deal. If you know what you're doing, you're going to make a ton of money in 2024, regardless of what the politics look like.
I agree with that. It just, the old saying is that you really want them fighting with each other.
Yes.
So
nothing gets done and then they ignore you.
That's right. Yeah. So I could see Michelle in there just fighting with all the Senate and House Republicans and all that stuff that's going to bring up, with her being who she is and all that. Like, it literally, they would just tie each other up for 4 years, just throwing accusations at each other. It'd be great.
Oh, they want her to run?
Yes, that's the rumor.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
The rumor is her or Newsom. I think it's going to be, dude, they can't seriously run this guy again. I mean, come on. Just from a health standpoint, I don't know. But anyways, that throws a ton of uncertainty in the market.
They're running him for sure. All that stuff is nonsense. Yep. Nope. It's all nonsense. Yep. Yeah.
It's wild. I was watching Iowa caucuses next week, right? And there was a guy in there that's kind of like the expert on Iowa. He runs like a blog like iowacaucus.com or something like that. He's that guy, right?
The heavyset guy with glasses?
Yeah.
I've seen him forever. Yeah.
He's on everybody's show right now, right? Yeah. And so he basically said, we have never seen a gap between first and second place this wide before. And he said, no one has ever gotten more than 40 or 45% of the vote. And he said, we may see that in the first time. And I'm like, hey, if that happens, it's game over. I mean, might as well just hand the nomination over to Trump and it's done. But it is going to be interesting to say the least. And there is going to be there's a substantial impact on the market for this kind of stuff. Like, if they're both fighting with each other, it's fine. But this just seems a little fevered pitch, even compared to 16 and 20. It's a little crazy.
This is what I've come to understand now after 56 years on this planet. In this country, and this is a Ben Franklin quote, you get the government, the people get the government they deserve.
Right.
And so, all my Democratic friends were totally freaked out with Trump. I'm like, you don't understand. This is our country.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
You may feel disconnected, but that's what the majority of this country is like. And now it's like, oh, this old guy. I'm like, hey, hold on.
Yeah.
That's our country.
Yeah.
They voted for that guy versus the other guy.
Right.
That's the guy they voted for versus the other guy. So you could see that, hey, the majority, and he won by a massive amount of votes, right? It was one of the biggest spreads ever.
Which is interesting in itself.
Sure. I mean, again, and so then they're like, oh, wow, they really
like
they
him.
really voted against that guy.
If that's the case, yeah. Still, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced at all. I think there is some serious problematic voting when you can vote for like a month.
Right. So you just don't like the rules, not that. Yeah. So absolutely. So you let people vote for 6 weeks before the election on Sunday after church. I get it.
It's look, one day everybody goes in and votes. Very simple. Surely we can figure this out. So, in any case. So I think it's this next go around is going to be really interesting to watch. And it's especially because what's going on in the Federal Reserve and the market, how the bond market's perceiving risk, it's just going to be, it's going to be interesting. And then going into the first 2 quarters here, we're already seeing active listings jump up, which is good. I think most Americans here over the next couple of weeks, maybe the next 2 months, are going to realize rates are not going up anymore. So if you're going to buy a house, you're going to have to kind of do it now. Otherwise, rates are going to go down, but you're going to pay a lot more for it, right? So these next couple of weeks, at least the next 2 months, are going to be real interesting to track how the year is going to be. And Mike Simonson, who is pretty conservative when he comes down to his predictions on Altus research, he's basically said prices are going up this year. He's like, I don't see a scenario where prices are level.
No,
or
of course
like
not.
They are going up. And he did not say that last year. Right. I can tell you that. So he's seeing some preliminary data that already says this thing's going up.
All right. So let's make some predictions. Ready?
Okay.
The FHA first-time home buyer rate in July.
For a 30-year?
30-year fixed, yep, in July.
5.5.
5.5.
The 15-year will be below 4. And that is going to blow you away.
I agree with the 5.5. Investor loans?
Oh, let's say 5.75 to 6.25.
All right, so the median home price right now is $326?
Yeah.
In Houston? Where do you think we are in July?
I think we'll be close to 350 in July. I'm running my numbers. This is just gut. This is gut stuff without putting it in the model.
Yeah, so that would be, we wouldn't know until August. That would be the actual July data.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit higher at 358.
Okay.
Corpus is 218. So what do you think?
I'm amazed Corpus is that low. I think we'll be at 230 in Corpus by July.
Well, wait, you're right. 218 on Zillow, and I think it's 260 on the.
Let me look. I could pull up
Coastal Bend.
Yeah, let me pull up CCR online.
So we love in your in the comments below. Let us know what you think the FHA, which is basically the retail mortgage rate, 30-year fix, you probably used in your lifetime. Where do you think is going to be? What do you think the investor loans are going to be at? Also 30-year AM. Median home price in Houston, you think it's going up? It's going down? And by how much? Right now we're at 326. I want to say
median home price. No, 279.
280. All right. So what do you think they're going to be?
I think July? I think they're going to crack 300. I think it'll be 10%. It's going to happen quick.
I agree. I'm going to go a little.
Look at this. Corpus Christi median home price is up 7.3% in a year, and active listings are up 23%, despite closed sales being down 21%, 4.4 months of inventory, and prices are up almost 8%. Wild. I know these investors are just sleeping. Well, you know what it is? Logan says it this way all the time. The guys that you're listening to are not housing people.
No.
They're dumbasses on Wall Street that don't understand housing. So the price of real estate's the cost of housing. It's not an investment. And I think that's where they get kind of screwed up. So, all right, what else you got there?
And then in our world, right, we're investors. We're not retail.
Yeah.
So most people who are throwing data at us is like, I get it if that's, you're talking retail. I get it. That's
right. Yeah.
That's NAR information, right? That's we understand it, right? So right now there's 700,000 houses on the market.
I think it's about right. I can pull up.
So what do you think come July?
I hope we break 1 million. If we don't, we're going to have some problems. We don't break 1 million homes, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with you on that.
Now, of course, people are going to ask, well, Jason, why is it mean? What do you mean it gets ugly 1 million? It gets so competitive that prices jump up so fast, but then you also have buyers that get priced out of the market and get really frustrated with the market. So when you get north about 8, 9, 10% a year appreciation, it starts getting really ugly really quick. So my thought is always, hey, we want to have some flexibility in our active inventory. But here's what we also know: as rates lower. Typically, so does inventory. I mean, let's be honest, since like what, 2012, 2013, inventory has gone down every single year. So we're just running out of houses to sell. And you really can't build more houses to offset that inventory. It's just the house builders are not going to take the same risk they did in 2008. You just look it up?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
How many wins for the Astros?
Man, there are. Woo. Well, I think they'll go above 500.
Are they 90 win team? They make the playoffs and wild card. 95 win the division.
I think they win the division at 95.
Okay.
But you got a new manager in there.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff going on over there. So I think 95.
95. I think they're just below 90. Like
just 88.
88. Yeah. And that might get them to the playoffs wild card. Yep.
What about we could go back and talk about the Texans. I mean,
damn, we should have made that bet. I remember.
Well, I should have made that bet. I was at the casino.
$1,000 you would have thrown on it.
No, it wasn't gonna be 1,000. It was gonna be 10 grand.
Oh.
So I called Rob, and then I called a bunch of buddies of mine. And I'm like, "Do you think they can win the division?" And a lot of them were like, "Maybe, but it's gonna be close." And of course,
I felt good about them because it was all about the quarterback CJ, right?
Yeah. And that what a turn of events that turned out to be. All right, so do we bring up?
No,
we're not going to bring up the Mets.
Well, they're the Mets. No, the Mets will be barely above 500.
Okay, all right.
82 wins.
And the Giants are still going to be in a little rebuilding year this year.
Giants are tough, so Saquon Barkley is gone from the Giants, and I think the absolute perfect place for him is right here in Houston.
Well, that'd be unreal.
Because
absolutely unreal.
The Texans going into the 2024 season have a lot of cap space.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. They got a lot of cap space. What was Saquon asking for? And then eventually just
$12 million, and he settled on 10.
Yeah.
But he was hurt again. He didn't have 1,000 yards. You could easily pick him up for 3 years, $27 million with maybe 18 guaranteed.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's a freaking deal.
Yeah, I don't think they're bringing him back to the Giants. I think they're moving on. But I think, him or Henry or there's a couple good guys. Like if they had a power back,
yeah,
like and keep the defensive a little more honest,
yeah,
they'd be really good. And then the Texans defense doesn't scare anyone, so they got to get some defensive players.
Well, here's the rumor, and I don't know if it's nonsense on Twitter and all this other stuff, but JJ can still play.
Yeah, I would take a fly on him. Yeah, because they just need someone on the other side.
And he always gets double teamed.
Great. Oh, yeah.
So it's like
they had a great rookie class.
Yeah.
So they've drafted very, very, very well. They're set, I think, at wide receiver, one veteran guy, number 3 and number 4 guy. But a strong running back would absolutely, I would say they're right up there with Chiefs, Bills, right in the NFC. So I think that could be a big year for them. So I'm interested in seeing what they do in the playoffs. But they won the division. So what was what would have been the win on that?
It was plus 800.
Woo! Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. Everybody do the quick math on that. Yeah. It was plus 800. I was going to put 10 grand down. It was, and I remember watching some of there were a couple of those games there, we won in the last 10 seconds, right?
Yeah. And his first game, he played horrible.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah,
absolutely horrible.
Oh, no.
But when you're watching a quarterback, I don't even care if it's a rookie quarterback, and the pressure's on and they're winning with 15 seconds left, 40 seconds left. I mean, that is difficult to do in the NFL. Yeah. And this is his first season. So I'm encouraged. And I think the coach is doing a pretty damn good job too. So
yeah, running back, tight end on offense, and then they just overall upgrades on the defensive side, and they've got a lot of cap space. Full 9 picks in the draft. They're fine, right? They're really, really good. So if they don't get a free agent running back, then I would say that they're probably looking at a running back in the first 3 picks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
When I heard this rumor about JJ coming back, my dad was like, yeah, but he was injured a lot. I'm like, because he gets double teamed. So I'm like,
yeah, but he's not coming back for a $15, $20 million a year salary.
No.
He's coming back to play, $5, $6 million, and with a team now that has got something going on.
Well, you've got a real shot
Yeah.
at playing in the Super Bowl, a real shot. Are they going to be there next year?
I think next year, I think they're much, much better next year.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah. So I'm super, super excited for these guys. And it's a great time. And someone showed me the tweet when they hired the head coach, and he just said, all we want to do is make this town want to watch football.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, man, you did it.
Yeah.
You absolutely did it. You had a great season, and now we're in the playoffs. This is super exciting.
Way better than last year.
So those are our 2024 predictions. What are yours? Again, I think by July, in a lot of these places that we're investing, we're seeing 10, maybe even 15% because there's just not enough homes. I'll remind everyone that back in 2019, we got on the radio and we told everyone, buy any house under 100,000 in the greater Houston area, buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't even think about it. Let's
just buy it.
Don't even care what condition is.
Yeah.
Just buy it. And I think we're now heading into areas like Corpus Christi where we can say that again. And then here in Houston, it's like anything under 180, buy it.
Yeah, just buy it.
Don't even think about where it's at, the street, the neighbors, just buy it.
Yeah. Yep. It's time in the market, not timing the market.
Yeah, that is, boy. More people got that. Jeez. All right, guys. Hey, this is Robert. We're at Mr. Texas Real Estate, Texas Real Estate Mastermind. We have 50% off going on right now of our mastermind. So if you want to talk to us about joining our mastermind, buying some properties this year, taking advantage of the appreciation we think is coming, what you're going to do is you're going to text 50%, right? You're going to text 50% to 281-401-9008, 281-401-9008. Thanks.